Hey guys, welcome back to Wednesday, April 8th. Today we're going to talk about circles. Tomorrow, chapter review, no school Friday, Monday is your test. So, I know that the video was really long yesterday, sorry. It won't be as long today, but you're going to need to memorize the things that we talk about today. It's going to come up on your test. And if you don't have it memorized, that's really going to be a problem. Also remember, we talked about memorizing those 6 types of triangles and their definitions. Those will be test questions. You will have to know the definitions of those. Other things you'll have to do, you'll have to identify parallel, perpendicular, intersecting lines. You will need to know acute, obtuse, right angles, and you will need to know that complementary angles add up to 90 degrees, supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. You'll need to be able to do some things we talked about yesterday, and then circles, that will be one of the last things. So when you're doing the chapter review tomorrow, use your notes if you need to. See what things you don't have memorized and where you probably need to work on those things, and then do that before the test Monday. Get help if you need it. All right, today we're going to find the length of the diameter of a circle given the radius, find the length of the radius of a circle given the diameter, identify the parts of a circle, the center, radius, chord, diameter, and central angle. You'll need your notebook, pencil, pen, and your math book. Lots of notes on these. We're just doing a couple slides, but there's a lot of definitions you need to write down. Please draw the circle the best you can and get all of that down. So again, I'm sorry, I know this is a lot of notes. You'll need to memorize these definitions, and you'll need to be able to identify these things on a circle. So here's our circle. The center of a circle is the point in the center of the circle. So here it's point S. That's also how we name a circle. We talked a little bit about that yesterday, right? We put a dot with a circle around it, and then whatever point is in the center, we write that, and that's how we name our circle. The first thing you'll need to know how to find is the radius. So the radius is a line that goes from the center to the outside. Okay, it has to start in the center to the outside. So we have lots of radii, it's the plural of radius if you didn't know that. So we have X, S, T, S, U, S, Y, sorry that looks like part of the sentence, but it's not, Y, S, and I feel like there was one more that's not up here, but maybe not, maybe that's all of them. US, XS, TS, WS, YS, those are all radii on the circle, okay? So again, it's just from the center of the circle to the end. And it doesn't matter how you name it. So you could call this XS or SX. A chord is a line segment with endpoints on the circle. Okay, so here we have UW is a chord. TY is a chord. ZY is a chord. A chord does not have to pass through the center of a circle. It just has to go from one point to another point. So there are literally an infinite number of chords that you could have on a circle. If you just think about all the possible lines that you could draw from one end to the next, just infinite chords on a circle, okay? And again, it doesn't matter how you name them. So UW and WU are the same. So what is important is if you were asked to name 3 chords on this circle, you couldn't say UW and WU because those are the same thing. That would only count as one. So that's really important, okay? And then diameter. Diameter is a chord. It's still a chord. It's just that it also passes through the center. Okay, so it has points on both ends and it goes through the center. So UW is a diameter, and YT is a diameter. YZ is not a diameter because it doesn't pass through the center. Okay? So you need to memorize all three of these and make sure that you could identify them. So I know it's really hard when there's a bunch of lines. So if we have our circle, right, again, a radius is center to the outside. This would be a radius. Okay, so if you want to draw individual circles and label it, maybe that would help you. Radius. Okay, then you could draw another one. Oh boy, you guys know, this is like so beautiful. So this is a looks like a Pokemon ball thing. This is a diameter or a chord, okay? And then this is our center. This could also be another example of a chord, as long as it just goes from one end to the next. All right, these are the three really important things that you need to know for your test. Okay, now this is going to come up on your test and it's going to come up in your homework, and it's kind of a review. Oh, and on the slide it also said that the total degrees in a circle is 360 degrees. Forgot to say that. So 360 was on that slide before. It's the sum of degrees in a circle, which you probably know that. If somebody says they can do a 360, right? If we're wakeboarding and somebody says they can do a 360, it literally means that they start here and they can turn their wakeboard all the way around back to where they started. Okay, so 360 degrees in a circle. So we're going to talk about different angles here. So this question is, what is the measure of XST? So you got to kind of picture that. You might, in your drawing, because hopefully you still have it from the slide before, you can just put 50 degrees right here. XST, 50 degrees. Okay? Sorry. TSW is the one that's 50 degrees. So what is XST if TSW is 50 degrees? So we can see that these form a right angle. They are complementary angles because they're going to add up to 90 degrees. So since XST and TSW are complementary, we're going to subtract 50 from 90. So 90 minus 50 equals 40. Okay, that's going to come up quite a bit. So let me draw you one more. You guys can kind of try this on your own, because this will come up on your test and your homework. Okay, if we have a right angle here, and we'll call this A, B, C, D. Okay, if BAC is 60 degrees, and we want to know what CAD is, we're going to do 90, because this is a right angle, minus 60 equals 30. So anytime it's a right angle or your total is complementary, it means they add up to 90 degrees, and you're just subtracting what you're given from 90. So likewise, if there's a straight line and the angles fall in the straight line together, or you are told that they're supplementary, that means they add up to 180 degrees. So here they want to know what is YSU. So here's YSU if UST is 150 degrees. Here's what gets a little tricky is we just have all these lines, so we're trying to keep it straight in our head. That's why I think it's a good idea to just write it right there on your paper. So again, what we're looking for is YSU. So identify that angle, YSU, and put a little question mark there, because that's what we don't know. but we know UST is 150 degrees. So right here, you could write 150 degrees. This line here doesn't really matter. So you can picture we've got this straight line. This right here we don't know. This is 150 degrees. So because they're supplementary, or a straight line is always 180 degrees. We're going to do 180 minus 150 equals 30 degrees. So again, you'll need to be able to do that on your homework and on your test, okay? Right angles, complementary, together they add up to 90. Straight line, supplementary, together they add up to 180. All right, pause the video, and I would like you to do pages 138, 139, 1 through 10. Come back, and we will go over this together. Notice that we skipped a page, so make sure you're on the page with the circles. All right, welcome back. Let's talk through this. Make sure you let me know if you have any questions. So we were looking at this little circle down here to answer our questions. And if you didn't know that, or you used a different circle, pause this, come back. Okay, so we're using this little circle here in the middle. So the center is L. We had two diameters, right? So the diameter goes from one point to another and passes through the center. We had MS, or you could have written SM, and QP, or PQ. Just keep in mind, MS and SM are the same thing. And QP and PQ are the same thing, okay? On number 3, 3 chords. Now there's actually, oh, no, there was only 4 on there. Only 3 on there. So MS, QP, and OR, okay? And again, you can flip those letters. So those are the 3 chords. Number 4 is asking for 5 radii. So radii have to go from the center to the end. So we had LM. So that's this one here. We start in the center and we go out to the side. LM. Start in the center, out to the side. LP. Start in the center, out to the side. LS. LN. And LQ. Those are the only possible answers, except for that maybe flipping your letters around, okay? Number 5, complementary angles. They want to know what 2 angles add up to 90 degrees. So we have angle PLS and SLN. If you look at that circle, you can see that those 2 form a right angle. So they would add up to 90 degrees. Those are the only possible answers on number 5. Now on number 6, supplementary angles, we had several answers. So you're looking for 2 angles that together would make a straight line, okay? So we have PLS and PLM. Those would make a straight line. You could also have PLS and SLQ. You could have PLN and NLQ. Trying to kind of look for more possibilities. PLM and MLQ. So if you get confused on that, or if you have an answer I didn't just say, let me know and I'll let you know if that answer works. On number 7, we have 2 angles together that form a straight line. So we're going to do 180 minus 30, which is 150 degrees. Number 8, we have 2 angles that together form a right angle. They're complementary. So we're going to do 90 minus 60, which is 30 degrees. On number 9, if LQ is 3 centimeters, that's 1 radii. All of our radii are going to be the same. So if LQ is 3, then if LP is 3, then LQ is 3. And on number 10, if MS, our diameter going all the way across, is 12, then LS is 6, because our radius is always going to be half of a diameter. Okay? So again, you guys, I know these last 2 lessons have gotten a little harder. So if we need to do some math help before the test, make sure you hop on Math 1 at 1 o'clock, or just shoot me a message and say, I don't get this, and we'll go over it together. We'll do some practice problems together. Tomorrow, the chapter review is a really good indication of whether or not you are prepared for the test. So if you're having to look up every single thing, how to do it, or definitions, then you have some studying to do. If you're doing really well without looking up things, then you're ready to go. So again, guys, please reach out. Let me know how I can help you, and I hope that you have a great day. Bye, guys.